Alrighty, guys, one of the movies that a lot of people are anticipating very, very much so, and yet it just looks like it's never going to come out. And I say that hyperbolically. Of course it's going to come out, but Beyond the Spider-Verse, the third film in the Spider-Verse trilogy, one of the most acclaimed pieces of media in a long time, one of the most acclaimed trilogies, or at least, two-part series. I don't know what you call it, duology. Anyways, but it's been, the Spider-Verse films, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, have been hailed as some of the best Spider-Man stories ever put to film. For me personally, I like them. I really do. And I think the animation is gorgeous, but haven't connected with me as much. But I am still very much looking forward to Beyond the Spider-Verse, which looks like it is just going through delay after delay after delay. In the meantime, though, we have something else to look forward to, or at least, something to look forward to in tandem, because it looks like we are getting another spin-off from the Spider-Man Spider-Verse universe. I say another because we are already getting a pseudo spin-off in the form of Spider-Noir, starring Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir, who made his debut in the Into the Spider-Verse films, his on-screen debut, and now he is playing the character in live action. It's unclear at this point if it's the exact same variant of Spider-Man Noir that he's going to be playing, although it seems kind of likely in my opinion. But that series coming to Amazon Prime Video is going to be coming out, I think, sometime at the end of this year, or if not next year. And so we have that to look forward to. But now, we have confirmation from the major outlets that we are getting another spin-off from the Spider-Verse, and that is a Spider-Punk film. So Spider-Punk was introduced in Across the Spider-Verse, voiced by Daniel Kaluya, who also, if you guys remember, in the original Black Panther, he played W'Kabi. And he was one of the new characters in Across the Spider-Verse that people seem to really gravitate towards. And now we have confirmation that they are making an animated feature film. So let's read this from Deadline, one of the more reputable sources that we look to for movie news and rumors. And this Deadline article says, quote, Sony Pictures Animation is in early development on a Spider-Punk animated feature from co-writers. This is interesting. Daniel Kaluya, Judas and the Black Messiah, I think he played a role in that. And Ajon Singh. Ajon, I apologize, I probably mispronounced the name badly. From a show called Primetime, Deadline has learned. Plot details are under wraps, and there are no other deals in place at this time. The natural assumption, of course, is that Kaluuya will reprise his role of Spider-Punk, which he played in 2023 as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and will be reprising in the upcoming Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think those are very safe assumptions. So no other details at this point. One would assume that this film would not be released until after Beyond the Spider-Verse. So I don't know. I would assume one would think that it will be after, like, that whatever role that Spider-Punk has in Beyond the Spider-Verse, that he will then carry that over into his own solo film. But really, right? I think so. First of all, I think this is exciting news because this is just something else to look forward to in the Sony Spider-Man universe. But to me, right, what this really indicates, and I think that this is really fun and really exciting, is that this is the approach that Sony should be taking with their Spider-Man spin-offs. Obviously, we went through that whole period with Madam Web, Morbius, Venom, which I like Venom, and I like Venom Let There Be Carnage enough. I did not really like Venom The Last Dance. Didn't enjoy it that much. But we got our Morbiuses, Cravens, Madam Webs, and I think that was just the wrong approach, right? That was just the wrong approach to making Spider-Man spin-offs. You can make as many Spider-Man spin-offs as you want, but, I think that if you want to focus in on the quality, having these spin-offs come from one of the most beloved franchises that you've made thus far in the animated Spider-Man films, and even doing some of them in live action, right? I think people would be very excited for a Haley Steinfeld Spider-Gwen movie or show. And I think that by doing this, by now having a Spider-Punk animated film and a Spider-Noir live action series, I think that this is the approach, right? In the meantime, while you're making Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is going to make you $1 billion, I guarantee it's going to make $1 billion, that if you want to continue to make these spin-off films, this is the route that you should take. So I think that this is exciting. Hopefully this signals an end to all those ridiculous spin-offs, which again, I don't think inherently the concepts for those spin-offs for Morbius, Madam Web, or Craven were ridiculous, but just the way that they approached them. We talked about this way back when. It was absurd. The CEO was blaming critics and audiences for the failings of those movies. And I think that this is a much better approach to those spin-offs. So anyways, a Spider-Punk film with Daniel Kaluuya writing and presumably starring in it will be coming out. And I think that is something very exciting to look forward to. Guys, what do you think about this news that Spider-Punk is going to be an animated film spin-off from Across the Spider-Verse? Let me know in the comments down below.